know that. You know what I'm saying? I'll try to make it out to Connecticut. I can't make it tonight, man. It's fucking Memorial Day. How about Friday? I'll make it out there Friday, okay? And then I'll go ahead and give you my plans, ideas, and situations in a redagle. All right, Vince. Take it easy, bitch. That was Vince McMahon. It's my homie. Hold up. Who are you? Beer Drink Shorty here. And yeah, but somebody shorts, skits. But that isn't this. As a child, I was a big, huge fan of wrestling. It's only fitting that I do my top 10 favorite wrestlers. I know I'm going to end up kicking myself in the ass later down the road watching the video because I know I'm going to forget people. I know I'm going to want to switch up the order in which I did it, but I think I somewhat got it right as far as what I like to see. The criteria I use in order to list it up: the look, the mic work, the in-ring work, and pretty much just the total appeal. And like I said, this right here is my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time. It sucks because I'm not even a wrestling fan anymore. Last wrestling match I saw was Raw. The anniversary here in Atlanta. My number 10, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Pretty much the epitome of the Attitude Era. What male dislikes Stone Cold Steve Austin? Stone Cold Steve Austin, the grown man, bam, wrestler. Great mic skills. Great in the ring. He was a bit more stiff than the rest of the guys that's going to be on my list, but very technically sound as far as mat work. Stone Cold Steve Austin always will be one of my top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time. Number 9, the Great Muta, Keiji Muto. The Great Muta had this mystique about him. First time I saw him was like New Japan Pro Wrestling. I used to order the tapes because like they had a lot of tape trading rings and shit like that online. You know what I'm saying? I saw a lot of Keiji Muto from New Japan Pro Wrestling. I love the face paint, the war paint. Very good wrestler. Like I put him up there as far as wrestling style. He reminded me a lot like Sting, but the Japanese version. But he did a little bit more he was more aerial inclined. He doesn't have to say a lot in interviews. So as far as mic work, you know, not a lot of it. Just the mystique of the Great Muta made his interviews and his little wrestling spots before matches and promos that entertaining. Rate number 8, not rate, nigga. My number 8 favorite wrestler to watch of all time, Mitsuharu Misawa. One of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time. I love wrestlers that pretty much will take a move and variate it. Pretty much make their variation of different moves, like a suplex, a spine bust. They're scientists outside of the ring. You know, they pick their own brain to oh my God. They pick their own brain to cook up a brand new move. It derives from another move, but they pretty much make it their own, and that's the kind of wrestlers I like. I like innovators. Shout out to the green and white. Mitsuharu Misawa always will be one of my top favorite wrestlers of all time. Number 7, Jushin Thunder Liger. As a child, this was my favorite Japanese wrestler as a kid. I loved Jushin Thunder Liger. I love pretty much the costume. He has you at the costume. Sick ass costume, sick mask. One of the dopest masks pretty much in the game. Jushin Thunder Liger. He was a great technical wrestler. Like I said earlier about Mitsuharu Misawa. He pretty much variated, is that even a word? He pretty much took moves and made them his own as well. He was intense as far as like selling his moves. Like even a punch, even a kick, a palm strike, he made you believe that it was real, especially as a child. Jushin Thunder Liger, one of the first and greatest flyers that I came to love. Number 6, the whole fucking show. Rob Van Dam, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, whatever. at one point, Rob Van Dam was my absolute favorite wrestler. I was a big, huge fan of ECW. I loved his mic skills. He wasn't as quick. He wasn't as quick and super on point as far as on the mic, but he was so fucking cool on the mic. I love the athlete, especially in wrestling, not just the stiff, guys that could fly around the ring and execute moves and hardly ever mess up spots. But Rob Van Dam took chances, and he innovated as far as just incorporating chairs, the fucking Van Daminator. Rob Van Dam definitely will always be one of my favorite wrestlers of all fucking time, and a cool guy too. Number 5, I'm going to give number 5 to, in my opinion, the greatest technical mat worker in wrestling history. There's a lot of others, but there is not one wrestler technically as sound as Bret the Hitman Hart. Another reason why I love Bret the Hitman Hart was just for the fact that, like, okay, this is as a kid. As a kid, when you saw Bret the Hitman Hart in interviews, even when he walked out to the ring, he seemed like the coolest motherfucker ever. You know what I'm saying? Bret the Hitman Hart always looked as, yo, man, that motherfucker's cool. And this is, no, I'm not saying motherfucker because, you know what I'm saying, I was a kid at the time, elementary school and such. Number 5, Bret the Hitman Hart. Another thing about Bret the Hitman Hart, too. As a kid, you know how when you used to see people and characters and shit on TV and you looked at it as cool. But then when you grow up and you look back, you're like, damn, man, that motherfucker was lame as shit. That shit was corny or whatever. Bret the Hitman Hart, even as an adult right now, when I look back at even his entrances, the way he carried himself in interviews, and truthfully, even how his fucking, what these youngsters are called swag, inside of the ring, still cool as ice. And Bret the Hitman Hart, definitely one of my favorite. He also breaks into my, truthfully, top 5 best wrestlers of all time, but that's another video that will come later on. Number 4, Mr. Homicidal, Mr. Suicidal, Mr. Genocidal, Sabu. Definitely. The first time I saw Sabu wasn't even ECW. It was just like a shitty local channel that would just show local wrestling from Tennessee, Texas. You know what I'm saying? NWA, AWA, and you know what I'm saying? Just showed a bunch of just pretty much. That was the golden age of wrestling, to where you're not just gonna catch WWF. WCW, NWA on television, but you're also seeing the indie promotions, the very smaller promotions and fucking bingo halls. Now, I'm not talking about ECW, but just very small, like Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Used to catch that on television, you know what I'm saying? Or Friday nights, you know what I'm saying? Saturday nights, you could catch the shit on television. And the first time I saw Sabu, it wasn't the Sabu that I grew to fucking really love. But it was just the whole fucking, like, almost like the Great Muta, the whole mystique of Sabu. Even to this day, like, they try to say that technically he wasn't too sound. Technically, he was a great wrestler. It was just that he tried so many different fucking things. He used to try, he pretty much just put it all out there. And yes, he used to blow spots at times. But homicidal, suicidal, genocidal, Sabu will always, and I'm talking about my favorite wrestlers of all time, Sabu will always be in my top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time. Didn't have to say any words. He'll let Rob Van Dam speak the knowledge, 2 to 3 minutes. Shoot. Sabu, you got something to say? Sabu. You can tell that I like the technical mat workers. You could tell that I like especially the technical mat workers that also incorporate aerial activities as well. My number 3 favorite wrestler to watch of all time. You remember the tape trading rings. You remember that you go on fucking AOL or whatever and you look up different people that have long lists of tapes. And you pretty much try to order every one of your favorite wrestler. This guy is pretty much the tape trading. While I was probably elementary to middle school, is what made me a huge fan, and I was a huge fan up into being a close to an adult until that horrible, fucked up, screw up spot of the moonsault off of the middle rope, I believe. Hayabusa will always be my top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time. I don't give a fuck who comes up. Truthfully, who comes up now? I don't watch wrestling, so how am I gonna know? How am I gonna know? How am I gonna know? The greatest flyer of all time, the greatest aerial artist and wrestler of all time, the most pinpoint, beautiful, sharp moonsaults that you will ever find. You're not gonna find a better moonsault than Hayabusa. Right after him, I have to give it to the great Muta. But Hayabusa, the best aerial wrestling artist of all time. I love the mask. I love the fact he used to come out with the cape or a robe on, shoot it off, and get to work. Hayabusa. And like I said, it was so tragic that happened to him. One of my favorites of all time. Number 2, and this is my opinion. I know we have the Ric Flairs. I know we have the Mick Foleys, Jake the Snakes, and many other wrestlers that were just beasts on the microphone. The Rock, you can put him up there. But just beasts on the microphone, just great mic workers. My favorite wrestler, number 2 of all time, and he was also part of my favorite stable of all time. Michael, purely sexy, P.S. Hayes no homo. Michael P.S. Hayes, in my opinion, the greatest mic worker. Let's do the fuck out of that. This guy not only technically sound in the ring, he worked the mic like no other. The way he dressed, he pretty much started the whole fucking hair, rock and roll hair band fucking movement in wrestling. Even something as small as a punch, he fucking snapped it. Like he was one of the first wrestlers to, whenever he punched, he kind of, instead of throwing the like, he sort of made it look more real, like by throwing more straight punches, selling it to be more of a real street, like boom, right down the pipe type situation in a Rodego. Michael P.S. Hayes, Bad Street, USA, what people call celebrities. I don't get starstruck, fuck a celebrity, you know what I'm saying? But Michael P.S. Hayes was one of the first people that I met, and I actually had to like give props for at least fucking a minute, 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I had to be like, yo, I'm your hugest fan. Like you, like the Fabulous Freebirds, him, Jimmy Jam Garvin, Terry Bam Bam Gordy. They were always my favorite stable, my favorite tag team. They were hard knock. They were good on the mic. They were the whole package. Michael P.S. Hayes, definitely the whole package. I think that he deserves way more respect in professional wrestling today. I know he's in the Hall of Fame, but new wrestling fans, because like I said, I don't watch fucking wrestling anymore, but your new wrestling fans, Google Michael P.S. Hayes, one of the greats of all time. And yeah, my number 1 favorite wrestler of all time. My favorite wrestler of all time. As a child, as a kid, he was my ultimate. He was my favorite wrestler as a child, and that's the reason why he will always be my number 1 favorite wrestler of all time, because when you first start watching wrestling and you're a kid and you kind of believe that it's real, and you're just more into it. The Ultimate Warrior as a child was a definite close to fucking, he was pretty much a real deal walking, living, breathing, talking superhero. And the Ultimate Warrior, Jim Hellwig, will always be my number 1 favorite wrestler of all time. Not too technical, not too technical, that's an understatement as far as look. With the face paint, the long hair, the fucking just, no, I don't think there ever been a wrestler or ever will be a wrestler with the physique and the fucking cut upness, what? As the Ultimate Warrior. I would believe it was WrestleMania 6 when he beat Hulk Hogan. I didn't think, like, and I was the hugest fan, you know what I'm saying? I was the hugest fan of the Ultimate Warrior. And as a kid, I'm like, they're not gonna let. My pinnacle moment in wrestling history. Thank you motherfuckers for watching this video. I will be doing more. And I didn't plan on this motherfucker being this long, but like, shit, damn, nigga, 10 people, that's like pretty fucking crazy. Beer.